it's Nick with Sweetwater here, and today we're going to be taking a look at this compact yet crushing little brute from Victory Amplification out of England, the Kraken V4 guitar amplifier. This lightweight grey box houses a 2-channel tube preamp driving a 180-watt Class D power stage. With built-in digital reverb, 2 notes torpedo IR technology, and more, the aptly named Kraken truly is a monster. As just mentioned, there's a lot going on in this portable little grey metal box. Let's quickly go through it one bite at a time. First though, what is a Kraken anyway? The cool graphics on the unit's top panel make it pretty clear that it's some kind of hideous monster that's probably related to a giant squid or octopus. Now, according to that fountain of always accurate information, Wikipedia, the Kraken is this: a legendary sea monster of gigantic size and cephalopod-like appearance that appears in Scandinavian folklore. Now, according to the Norse sagas, the Kraken dwells off the coasts of Norway and Greenland and terrorizes nearby sailors. Perfect. And what, pray tell, is a cephalopod, do I hear you ask? Well, in a nutshell, it's a sea creature with a bunch of tentacles, like a giant squid, for example. And trust me, this Kraken has some serious tonal tentacles, if you get my drift. Anyway, backstory on the name over, back to the Kraken V4 guitar amp we're looking at. Its 2 channels are labelled 1 and 2 via Roman numerals. They both share controls for bass, middle and treble, but each has its own gain and master knobs. Now, according to the fine folk at Victory, Channel 1 has a distinctively British vibe, while Channel 2 is a much more American, aggressive, modern, high-gain sound. So, both sides of the pond are covered here. I can switch between these channels via an optional foot switch or via the switch on top of the unit. Now, next to that switch is an LED, and when it glows green, gain 1 is selected, and it goes red when gain 2 is on. Here's channel 1 with the gain control at 12 o'clock. And here's channel 2, also with the gain at 12 o'clock. Yup, the best of both worlds. Now, while Channel 1 certainly has less gain than its American-flavoured brother, it's not really a clean channel per se. That said, to quote Rabia Masad, who was intimately involved in the voicing of this beast, it does kick out a nice, pushed clean sound, just like this. If you're not familiar with Rabia, I definitely recommend you check him out on YouTube. He's a really great player, plus he's English, and has a mop of frizzy hair, just like I used to. So he's a top man in my book. Now, before we go any further, let's quickly talk about tubes, because the Kraken V4 contains 4 of them, and I'm pretty sure that's what V4 means, 4 valves. That said, these 4 valves are not the usual preamp suspects. No sir, they're not 12AX7s, and they're not this bad boy. Let's take a quick look, shall we? What I'm going to do is open up one of its little brothers, the Sheriff V4 preamp pedal, because it contains the same exact tubes. Yep, there's definitely 4 tubes there, but not one of them is a 12AX7. They're much smaller, and 3 of the 4 have a very different shape too. So what are these tubes? The smallest one, which looks a little like a baby 12AX7, is a low-noise EC900 Triad. The 3 taller skinny ones are CV4104 pentode tubes that were made at the Mullard factory in England back in 1981 for, of all things, the British Ministry of Defence. And until Victory recently designed their V4 preamp pedals, a huge pile of CV4104s were stored in a climate-controlled underground bunker. Very James Bond indeed. Anyway, now you know the bunker backstory, back to the front panel as we still have 3 more controls to go over. The first one is a no-brainer, the reverb control. And as you've already heard, the Kraken V4 has a really nice built-in digital reverb that has a studio quality plate-like ambience that you can add should you wish, and I normally do. The final 2 controls are where it gets really interesting in my book. There's a 6-way sim preset selection knob and also a sim level control. Yup, as mentioned at the very start of this video, the Kraken V4 features 2 notes technology, which can be fed into a computer interface, a mixing board, or a PA system via the unit's balanced XLR cab sim output. Nice. Very nice. These 6 cab sim presets were all done by the aforementioned Rabea chap, and they're all really, really good. If you want to see exactly what's going on here, you can install 2 Notes free Torpedo remote software onto your computer. Then all you have to do is connect the V4 to your computer via its USB output, and you're rocking. Let's quickly check it out. I can mess with any one of Rabea's 6 presets. I can select whatever mic I want, and then move it around, which is super cool. Then I can mess with the power amp, which is excellent, and I can go between pentode and triode. I can also set up a noise gate with the hard or soft gate. Then I can select EQ. I can select an enhancer if I want. And last but certainly not least, I can add reverb. So I can be room or ambience. And then I can go between various room settings and then set the size of it, the echo and the color, plus of course preset output level and out level. Yep, in my humble opinion, this 2 Notes software rules due to its guitar-friendly tweakability. As for what this sounds like, you already know, because that's exactly what I've been using thus far in the demo. You might be pleased to know this. As cool as the Torpedo remote software is, you don't need to engage it if you don't want to. You can simply hook up the sim output, plug in your guitar, and get right down to business. No computer, no nothing. Just plug in and play. Having said that, this software is really great though, because you can tweak it to your heart's content and use other cab sims too. Also, because the V4's power stage is Class D, I can use the cab sim output without a speaker or speaker load attached. Portable indeed. Very cool. Let's take a quick look at the V4's other connections, shall we? From left to right, we have the following. An input for your guitar, then send and return jacks for the V4's series effects loop, and that's where I put my Echoplex pedal. Then we've got the XLR cab sim output I already mentioned, plus a balance line output, and also a jack for the optional 2-way foot switch that will not only switch channels, but switch reverb on and off as well. Incidentally, the cab sim and balance line outputs are totally independent of each other, so you can use both simultaneously. One with cab sim, and the other one without. Neat! And both are also after the effects loop and reverb. Duh! As you'd expect, there's also a speaker output, plus a very useful 9-volt DC output that you can use to power pedals. Then next to that is a switch for the unit's cooling fan, then last but certainly not least, the mains input and on-off switch. To close, let's quickly unplug the cab sim and run the V4 straight into a Victory cab. This one here behind me, the Victory V212VG, a vertical 2x12 loaded with 2 Celestion Vintage 30 speakers. And just so you know, when the V4 is plugged into a 4-ohm load, it can kick out its maximum 180 watts. Into 8 ohms, it can deliver about 100 watts, and into 16, it kicks out 50, which, believe me, is plenty. Let's check out a few sounds, shall we? must say I really enjoyed that, and I could go on and on and on, but I'm sure you've had enough by now. I gotta tell you, that felt really good. And to be honest with you, as great as the cab sims are, sometimes you just can't beat some good old-fashioned trouser flapping volume. Hear what I mean? Feedback, good. Now, in addition to the Kraken V4 we've been looking at, the Victory Kraken family also contains the V4 preamp pedal, a 50-watt head, and also the 100-watt Super Kraken head, which also boasts a clean channel. But those are obviously subjects for separate videos. I sincerely hope this quick overview of this particular Kraken has whet your appetite to learn more about this amp, because it really is a cracker in my humble opinion. Now, for more information on it, or any other Victory products proudly made in England, please go to sweetwater.com, or better still, call your sales engineer and he or she will be only too happy to assist you further. And don't forget, the Kraken is a cephalopod. Thanks, Wikipedia. Toodle pip, old bean. I'd like to express a sincere and jolly big thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, nicely please, and subscribe. Check here for more videos like this, or start at sweetwater.com for all your music instrument and pro audio needs. Here's wishing you a simply wonderful day. Cheerio!